Hi, it's Tom again. I gave you the recipe gluten-free bread to die for, and today I'm going to make apple pie. For that, I've bought this patisserie mix, which has actually all the ingredients into it. Also, some yeast is into it. So I use 180 grams of this mix, and then we have here 40 grams of butter, 40 grams of sugar, and 1 egg, which we will mix together. But I'm also going to show you what else I have for this recipe, which is some cinnamon, some raisins and some almonds. That's for the decoration, some apples for decoration, and what I've made here already is some apple compote. I've put already some raisins in it and some toasted almonds. What else we need is, of course, a baking tray, which I put some butter in and some of the flour, just that my cake or my apple pie will come out much easier. So those are the ingredients. So what we do is, in this flour mix goes in the butter, the sugar, and 1 egg. This recipe actually you can find on the back of this gluten-free mix. It's up there, okay? So it's the same recipe that I'm using, just there. So basically mix together, they say. Okay, let's do that. You probably can make this also in a kitchen robot, but I like using my hands. So let's see how fast I can make this dough. As you can see, it stays quite dry. So what I'm going to do, I think, is just add a little bit of water, because I didn't think this consistency is really going to make me a dough that I can roll with a rolling pin. So, just a moment. That should do it. Okay, so that's my dough nearly done. Unlike the gluten doughs, you don't really have to mix it all too long, because it doesn't have any gluten and doesn't stick together. So here we are. Part 1 done. Now they advise to put it between 2 sheets of baking paper, sulfurized paper. And put another one on top, and now start rolling. So I must see that it fits in here. So as you can see, I need just to roll a little bit more. But not much. It's already coming out. So measure again. So let's see how that works. If I can do it like this. Yeah. Okay. So you see, it's quite brittle, but then again, it's gluten-free. So we're expecting that. So now, with the leftovers, I'm going to make the sides more. Okay. Nearly done. Well, I think that should work. So, put some holes in the bottom. And this now will be prepared or pre-baked in the oven for about 10 minutes. Okay, so I preheated the oven. There it goes. In the meanwhile, what I will do is to prepare these apples. Okay, we are now 10 minutes later, and look, this has been in the oven for about 10 minutes on 180 degrees centigrade. So, what we're going to do now is that I put that compote I made earlier onto the base, spread it out. Okay, there we are. Trying as evenly as possible. Now, next thing comes is, as I said, I cut these apples and now we're going to put the apples on top. What this might give is that you get the compote and then the apples, which will probably be left crunchy after the baking. I might have to put a little bit less. There you go. So round and round in circles we go. Apple pie, gluten-free, and actually these apples come from my sister's garden. So thank you, sister, for giving us these wonderful apples. They are cooking apples, so they are not too sweet, because that will, you know, when you make an apple pie, you must get a little bit of a tanginess to it. It's much better. You can also make an apple pie with two different varieties of apple. Like for the compote, you can use a bit of a sweeter one, while on the top a little bit more an acidic apple, which make it all a bit more interesting flavor wise. So there we go. Got a few more. So I can now start putting some extras in. I don't want to be stingy, but I thought at the beginning that I was not going to get around enough. So here I can fit another one in. Okay, apple pie done. So now press it in. A little bit more. There you go. Very well covered. I can think I put another one in here. There you go, that's it. Now, I had some of these raisins, put them on the top, put some of the almonds. These are not toasted, these almonds. These are just normal flaky ones, because they will be toasted when they're in the oven. Now I'm going to put a little bit of cinnamon on top. Love cinnamon. There you go. And some sugar, just to get that little bit of caramelization done, I hope anyway. So this is a bit of extra, not too much. There you go. What do you think? Looks good? It's gonna taste delicious. So, okay, now this will go into the oven again, 180 degrees centigrade for about 15 minutes more. Okay, so here we are. Look at that. Has a nice color on it, and if you prick it, it does seem, yeah, there you go. You know, I can go through it quite easily. That means that the apples are ready. Check it now and then, because sometimes you will need a bit more time in the oven to get that effect. So Unfortunately, I'm not going to take it out of its form because I'm going to a party this afternoon and I'm invited to family. So, but I will tell you afterwards how good it is. But it smells divine.